Parshas Vayechi. This is a shmuz adapted from Moran Agoin, Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, Zeichat Tzadik Levrocha. There's one thing that stops us from reaching, going higher, getting more inspiration, and being a better Yid and doing things more correct and more proper. There's one thing. There may be many things, but one thing in particular that we'd like to speak about today is there's one thing, and the name of this thing is eingewohnt in Yiddish. In Yiddish, it's eingewohnt. We get used to a certain situation, and it's hard to get out of it. It's hard to improve. It's hard to become bigger. It's hard to become more spiritual. We're so used to doing things a certain way. And we could see this in the following Chazal, in Soita, Daf Yud Gimel Amud Aleph. It says in the Torah, at the end of Parshas Vayechi, Vayal Yosef Likbar es Oviv, and Yosef HaTzadik went up to bury his father. The Gemara in Soita, Daf Yud Gimel Amud Aleph, the Gemara says that when they reached the Ma'oras HaMachpelah and they were ready to bury Yaakov Avinu, also Esav Koma Akev. The Gemara says Esav came to stop them. And they had a whole discussion there. Esav said, it's my place. The spot that you want to bury Yaakov is mine. I'm older, I'm the brother, I'm the older brother. Anyway, they had a whole vichuach, a whole discussion. And finally, they were going back and forth, and finally, Esav said, show me proof. Show me proof, because they were saying that there's a document that he signed over the place to Yaakov. And he said, show me the document. And they said, the document is in Mitzrayim. It's back in Mitzrayim. So meanwhile, they decided to send Naphtali to go running to Mitzrayim, because he was very swift. Ayola Shlucha, he was very swift, and they were waiting until Naphtali will come back with the document, proving that Yaakov is the one that really owns the spot and should be buried there. The Gemara continues that Chushim, the son of Don, was there, and he was hard of hearing. And he said, what's going on? What's going on? And they told him that we're waiting now. Esav wanted to stop us from going through with the kvura, with the burial, and we have to wait until Naphtali will come back from Mitzrayim. He says, what? Chushim, the son of Don, said, what? And until Naphtali will come from the land of Mitzrayim, my grandfather will be laying here, but be Zoyon. It's disgraceful that he should be waiting just like this, waiting. It's just not a nice thing. He was so disturbed, and he took a stick and he knocked Esav over the head and killed him. That's what it says in the Gemara. And the question is, how come Chushim was the only one that recognized, that understood that it's a bizoyon, it's disgraceful to leave Yaakov Avinu laying there waiting, just waiting until Naphtali will return. How come the other brothers, how were they able to tolerate this situation, that their grandfather is laying bizoyon in disgrace? Comes along Hagoyin Reb Chaim Shmulevitz Zechat Tzaddik L'Vracha. And he says a tremendous thing. He says that there was a whole discussion going on, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and every second it was going by that Yaakov Avinu was laying with Bizoyon. They got used to the situation. They got used to the situation. In Yiddish we say they became eingewohnt. They became used to the situation that Yaakov was laying there. They were in the middle. They thought at this time they would prevail in the argument, and then Esav shot back with a response to their questions. Anyway, they became used to the fact that Yaakov Avinu was laying in disgrace. But Chushim, who didn't hear any of the whole arguments, he didn't know anything. All he saw is that it's taking too much time, and he couldn't hear. He couldn't hear. He was hard of hearing and deaf, so they became used to the situation, so that they were able to tolerate it. The brothers, Chushim ben Dan, it was a new thing to him. He heard nothing going on, and all of a sudden he sees they're waiting. They're waiting. So it hit him right away. He was not used to the situation. Since he was not used to the situation that Yaakov Avinu was laying in bizoyon and disgrace, he was not used to the situation. He was able to do right away to see this is wrong, and he took a stick and he killed Esav. So we see from here that getting used to a situation can sometimes deaden the person from actually having the right inspiration to do something. They couldn't do the right thing because they were so used to the situation that Yaakov was laying there. But Chushim did not get used to any situation. He was not eingewohnt to the situation, and he was able to see the truth and do the right thing. Perhaps we can learn from here that if we want to improve our ruchnius, our spirituality, if we want to learn how to daven better, and if we want to learn how to do chesed and do mitzvahs better, there's one thing that might stop us. We become eingewohnt. We become used to the situation. Yesterday I davened, and 2 days ago I davened. Yesterday I did chesed. I did it. It's not fresh. It's not new. It's not new. And if it's not new, it loses its entire freshness and inspiration. We can't improve because we're back. We're just used to doing what we're doing. It's sort of like rote. We just do things by rote. And the secret of being able to improve our spirituality is to snap out of this rote, snap out of this eingewohntkeit, this being used to the situation, and looking for fresh ways and fresh ideas to improve ourselves. So we have to snap out of this rote that's throughout our lives, and we will be able to daven better. We're not davening because yesterday we davened, or we're not having kavanah in davening because yesterday that's the way I davened and I want to keep doing it. This is just doing things because I'm used to doing it. But we have to look for fresh ways how to open up the passages and how to improve and inspire ourselves with more spirituality. The Eibishter should help us that if we are aware of this, we will see that our whole Yiddishkeit will be improved. We should be zeicher to this. Amen v'amen.